a vintage slushy machine. I rebuilt this machine in November. It's September now. Well, we're getting close. So, new compressor, new evaporator, dryer, TXV. I converted it from a 22 system to a 404 system. It's been quite the adventure. Well, they said it wasn't working today, so I got here. You can see this compressor is overheating. It's blazing hot. It was off on thermal when I got here. I turned it on, and sure enough, the sight glass is clear, but the compressor shut down on thermal. So I haven't gone through and done the real diagnostics yet. This is the original startup system. I'm guessing the relay failed and it wasn't dropping the start capacitor out. I just put a 3-in-1 on there to see if it would go, and bada bing. So clear sight glass, compressor running. She wouldn't even start before. It's still blazing hot. I'm gonna leave that off for a second. I'm gonna put some ice on her head, cool it down so we're not living on the edge. I'm gonna put my stubby gauge on it just to watch and see, and make sure she pulls down all right. But yeah, you can see right now this is just so blazing hot. I want to just pull this out of the way while I'm here working, so nothing's touching that. Get some ice. All right, the compressor just came on. 6.5 amps. I actually feel like the head pressure's high. The Copeland app says this thing can run 7-point-something amps. It's not an overamping problem. And yet it's going to cut off in a minute. The pressures are good. I'm not overamping. I'm cutting off on thermal. Alright, so here we are. This compressor is from February. It is dead. So here's my new compressor. It is covered under warranty, but disheartening that warranty has to step in only after, what, 6 months? Coming up on 7 months. But before I bring in my torches and all that, I just bring this in, make sure it's an exact pipe for pipe, everything's sized correctly, so that's right. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the torch in. We're gonna recover this. It's only, I think, a 1 pound, 6 ounces or something. I'll have to look back at the paperwork. It's not a whole lot of juice in this system. We'll get this pulled out. Yeah, we'll torch it in. All right, so I got the old one removed. I'm gonna transfer this service tee to here. So before I put it in there and have to torch near this wire, I'm just gonna do it right here while it's out. And then we'll set it in place and do the next ones. All right, nitrogen. So we got about 220 pounds of nitrogen on the high side, 140, 135 pounds on the low side. I'm fighting with a leak in my hoses, not in my brazes. So the store had this microcloth towel, so that when I cooled it off, it actually stuck some of the towel. But yeah, I'm gonna put the bubbles on it, make sure she's good. It ain't the prettiest torch, but none of mine ever are. It's not my specialty. I get it done, they don't leak, but they're not pretty all the time. Alright, since this is a warranty deal, sealed up the, again, this is the blue rag. Sealed up the ports, back in the box, back to United. Alright, we got our vacuum going. Look, I got moisture in my gauge. Terrible. This can seem very daunting when you look at, but it's really not. Take a look. Alright, so let's go with the neutral. Let's start with that, because this is a 115 volt circuit. So the white wire is going to go down, run into your capacitor, then it's going to turn red. That red wire is going to come up. This is the neutral, right? And so this half of the neutral is running to the fan. And then that's gonna run to my run component. So, my white wire coming in. My white wire running to my start components. Then it turns red, runs out, and runs to my start terminal. No, what did I say? Nope, my run terminal. Apologies. So that's why we're on the run terminal with the red one. This spot is basically this, because this is the spot where I'm bringing the leg that's coming in to the fan and to the start components. So, right, what I feed is one to that, one to that, and one to that. And for your actual line, it runs in, one leg of it runs to number 5 of the potential relay, right? Then it keeps going, one leg of it runs to the fan, then it keeps going, one leg of it runs to the actual external temperature overload. So we have the fan, the overload, the fan, the potential relay. This is why I love these Wagos. I've got my line in, I've got one leg running to my fan, one leg running to my overload, one leg running to my potential relay. And once I fire this up and I know it works, I'm gonna wrap all this with electrical tape and then put my cover back on. So we're gonna set our ground, and then we're gonna get the scale, look at what I weighed in on this last time. I'll look at the work order from before, and we'll weigh it in, fire it up. Okay, so this customer, and yes, I also changed the dryer. I didn't talk about that last time, so before people start screaming, you gotta change the dryer, I changed the dryer. We're still in a nice deep vacuum. I've got it purged up to here. I just need, when I filled this last time, so this used to be an R22 system, and we converted it to 404. So it was a new evaporator, TXV, compressor, everything. Or new condenser, I'm sorry. You can't change the evaporator in here. You'd be sunk if you did on that one. But it was 1.5 pounds. So, in we go. Can't judge by the sight class or anything because it's not running, but I did this last time and kept record of it to know that it was 1.5. So boom, let's roll with that. Stirring mode first. Boom. Stir's running. There we go. Compressor fired up. Sight glass gonna take a second. This is a funny system because I have a sight glass and a TXV and I don't have a receiver. Frankenstein system we're working through. The lower part of my condenser acts as my receiver. 404, so we're running 24 degrees right now. That's good. Oh yeah, baby. 250 head pressure. me just see the suction pressure get down a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off, clean up my electrical, put some panels on it, and I'm gonna put it in place. All right, so our slushy is getting slushy, running a 0-degree coil. So it's just gonna take some time to thicken up. Slushy back in action.